Did you think otherwise? Did you think otherwise?
No doubt unbiased. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm in Manchester for the Quick vs Carroll press conference. I'm joined by, to my left, I believe, it's Andrew McCart from IFL TV. We're here to ask him two questions from a video that you've seen previously, which is Fight of the Decade and Fighter of the Decade. Andrew, I'll let you start off with which one you'd like to give your answer to.
Go for Fight of the Decade.
My Fight of the Decade, first of all, was Floyd versus Groves. As you know, I thought that the British boxing, the platform that it gave British boxing to be where it is right now has a lot to do with that fight. The build-up was brilliant, the fight was brilliant, the Carl Froch and George Groves were brilliant, and the legacy of that fight continues to build. In terms of your fight of the decade, what would you give it?
I'm going to agree with you. I mean, the reason being is that we spoke a little bit off camera with Coogan and all that. Is that bigger than Klitschko versus Joshua? And I said yes. The reason I said that was the first fight at Wembley, the first fight with the stadium, 80,000 people, the grudge match behind it, the controversy of the first fight between Groves and Froch. Now I'm probably going to get a lot of hate on your channel because I've said that, because it is bigger than Klitschko and Josh. I'm not saying it's massively bigger. I mean, they're up there together. But in scale of what it was, a stadium fight, box office, blah 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 blah. But the needle behind it and what was at stake for the Groves Froch fight. I mean, Klitschko was coming off 15 months out of the ring. I lost to Tyson Fury before he fought Joshua. That's not discrediting Joshua's win over him, because it was a fantastic win. I just think, like you said, the legacy behind it and what it done for British boxing, I'm going to agree with you and say Froch and Groves 2 at Wembley. Now most people think I'll pick Josh Taylor, but Josh Taylor pro grade 1. No, but I'm going to agree with you. I think you're spot on there.
It's weird, I just want to add as well, like, I don't think any fight has quite had that needle just as yet. It's like Cinch versus Froch Groves. Let's move on to Fighter of the Decade. I picked Manny Pacquiao. I originally picked and put out on Twitter Floyd Mayweather, but having had a little bit more time to think about it, I thought that Floyd Mayweather hadn't fought enough times through the decade, and the last couple of fights as well. 10 times
in a decade, so once a year if you do the maths.
10 times compared to Manny Pacquiao,
and
16.
And an MMA fighter.
And yeah, a couple of the picks as well that he fought were a little bit contentious, but I changed my pick to Manny Pacquiao. And McCart, what's your pick?
You've got to go with Manny as well. Like you're picking all the right stuff. you're doing it all right. You're breaking it down perfectly, because obviously Floyd, 9 proper boxing fights in that day. But what Floyd did, the box office, and he beat Manny Pacquiao. Do you know what I mean, in that decade?
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? So
big win.
He beat Manny Pacquiao in that decade. He, he beat Cottle. He beat some massive names in that whole Canelo. Do you know what I mean? Although Canelo was young, he was only 23, 22 when he fought Floyd. But he didn't lose, Floyd. He only fought 9 pure boxers. You want to mention Conor McGregor, he still beat Conor McGregor. And yeah, it's a toss up between Manny and Floyd, and I think you won't be wrong with either one of them. But if you're going to put a gun to my head for me to choose,
I'm not.
Have you got one on you?
Not today.
I'm going to go. What other options is there? Pacquiao, Floyd.
Manny Pacquiao. You could say Canelo.
Canelo.
Yeah. You could put Joshua in there.
Joshua, they've both done.
I couldn't think of any others really as front runners.
Klitschko was in that decade. He blitzed through that whole heavyweight division until he came up against Tyson Fury. It's a good question. I'm going to have to go with Floyd. The reason being, I want to be different. Okay. I'm not going to have the same answer as you.
Fair enough.
You said Manny Pacquiao, so I'm going to go Floyd. Reason being, he beat Manny Pacquiao, he beat Canelo, albeit Canelo was 23, 22 years old when they fought. He beat Conor McGregor, one of the biggest names, the box office behind that. Pay-per-view buy. I know it's not the pay-per-view buys and all this box office stuff isn't about that, but it's the event that Floyd brings to the boxing game, and it was everything. Like Manny Pacquiao fight broke records, the Canelo fight broke records before that. Conor McGregor fight, they actually took an MMA fighter and a boxer like Floyd, and he put them in the ring together, and it sold the press conferences all around the world and whatnot. So I'm going to go with Floyd just for the sheer fact that he beat Ricky Hatton. I mean, the names that he beat.
The names are
and
there.
Although he has only fought like 10 times in that decade once a year, how could you argue not that he beat Pacquiao, he beat Canelo, he beat Ricky Hatton? The names are endless. He beat Cottle. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to go with Floyd, and I'm going to stick with it.
That's Andy McCart's pick. I'm just going to be cheeky and ask him one last question, which he wasn't expecting, which is...
Curveball.
Yeah, it's not too much of a curveball. Who is your breakout star of the last decade? Mine was, well, to give you some time to pick.
You don't have to give me a pick. I'm a biased jock, so.
Well, I think we know who he is,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
mine
yeah,
was Triple G, considering that the fact from 2012 all the way to 2017 he built up a consecutive string of stoppages in the ring, which led to a Mike Tyson-esque aura that he built around himself, passing over into the mainstream, bringing boxing fans back into the sport. Mine was Triple G. Andy McCart, who was your breakout star of the last decade?
I can't argue with you. I mean, like, it's the thing about boxing is like, everything's subjective. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You pay pound for pound rankings, your British pound for pound rankings, your American pound for pound rankings. You mentioned Triple G obviously for the reasons you give, but for me, being biased, and I mentioned it there, I'm a biased jock. But watching a young kid in the gym, Josh Taylor, what he did, got the Commonwealth Games in 2010 in Delhi, winning the silver medal at 17 years old, then coming 4 years later winning the gold in Glasgow, turning over in 2004. I think it was end of 2014 or beginning of 2015, and then becoming a unified world champion in just 16 fights. Do you know what I mean? He's probably top 10 in the people's pound for pound rankings now, maybe at number 10 sitting there. I think the Ring Magazine have got Josh at number 10. Again, I think it's because I do have a close relationship with Josh, he's a good friend of mine, but just seeing what that kid's done over the 6 years he's been a pro, 5-6 years he's been a pro, Commonwealth champion in 6th or 7th fight, you know what I mean, beating guys like Victor Postol, Regis Prograis, Ivan Baranchik, selling out the Hydro. As in terms of breakout star, for me personally, I'm going to go for Josh Taylor.
Those are Andy McCart's picks.
Did you think otherwise? Did you think
no
otherwise?
No doubt unbiased. Thank you so much
biased.
to Andy for joining us in the video. We'll
Thank
see
you so much.
on the next one. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Appreciate it.
No, anytime, man.